Hi, hello viewers. Welcome to another interesting episode of Time Out With Thevoice. If you are having an event you would like us to showcase, please kindly get in touch with us. Our contact details are on the screen. My name is Olaniyi Abodedile, and as you know, many of you call me The Voice. Please subscribe to our YouTube page at TNV Television and also click on the notification bell so that anytime we post new videos, you will be notified. Today, on Time Out With Thevoice, we'll be talking about community issue. A group of South Africans who refer to themselves as Put South African First had a peaceful protest on the 25th of September 2020 to the High Commission of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. At the High Commission of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, they submitted a memorandum to Ambassador Kabir Bala. Their memorandum stated that Nigerians are involved in drug dealing and human trafficking, and as such, demanded that the High Commissioner warn Nigerians. But now the question is this the beginning of another potential xenophobic attack against black foreigners in South Africa, or perhaps specifically against Nigerians? Furthermore, the group Put South African First accused Nigerians of being complicit and not doing anything about the situation. This accusation took me on a journey to speak to Nigerian community leaders to hear their opinion, what they feel about the protest march. What can we do as a community to deal with this issue and avert any xenophobic attack? After the last xenophobic attack, the governments of both nations, South Africa and Nigeria, came together and had a meeting. At the meeting, they agreed that they were going to set up an early signal warning. And the responsibility of this committee was to alert both governments if there is any potential threat of a xenophobic attack. This took me out on the street to speak to Nigerian community leaders, to hear what they think about the protest march, and also to see how, as a community, we can come together to try to deal with any other impending xenophobic attack that this might cause. Also, what can we do as a community to integrate ourselves into the South African community, and also advice for Nigerians in South Africa?
100 years we have been oppressed in our own country of foreigners, Europeans coming to take our land, our culture and nation. Last year, Mr. Ambassador, I want you to pay attention to them because I'm here for a serious business. I'm here for serious business. I'm not here to do it. Please, comrades, be quiet. Last year, a Nigerian national, Mr. Okafor, stabbed one of our police constables in his sleep to death. He's currently in court in Kemus and in Uppington. 3 weeks ago, 2 Nigerian nationals are in court for human trafficking of 15 girls. One is from Uppington, the Northern Cape where I'm from. I flew all the way from Uppington to give you this message. And I want you, from tonight, you must sleep and think about this. The South African mothers, they sleep with tears in their eyes. Every night. Because the children have been used as prostitutes from Nigerian nationals. That is not the thing that is only affecting Nigerian nationals. It affects South African nationals as well. But the main perpetrators are Nigerians. We as South Africans, as a quiet and sad nation, we receive every nation in this land with peace to come and stay in South Africa. When we received them with peace in South Africa, our land was gone up until today. You can see here, we are landless, we are voiceless. We will not tolerate this for 600 years, Mr. Ambassador. We want to... Sorry, my leaders, don't disturb me. Because, when I'm talking here, I'm talking emotion of mothers that sent me here. There's mothers that sent me here. Currently, where I'm staying, I'm running an ad for 6 months on radio, 10 times a day. I paid out of my own pockets. Because this is not a single thing of an individual. It affects white mothers, it affects black mothers, it affects Christian mothers. You have got children. It could affect your children as well. My problem is this, Mr. Ambassador. Within 3 months, we'll come back. Our message to you is within 3 months, you must send out a message to the Nigerian Union, the Nigerian nationals that you represent here, to stop what they are doing. We will allow them to stay here, but we don't allow them. We will allow them to stay here as asylum seekers and as refugees, but not as people that come and make business and use our people, Mr. Ambassador.
My name is Adetola Oluwajo. I'm the current president of Nigerian Community in South Africa, NIOSA.
Okay, my name is Dr. Emeka Ugu. I'm a family physician by training. I'm equally an entrepreneur by training and by practice to some extent. And I'm currently the president of Nigerian Doctors Forum, South Africa.
My name is Ikos Apokabine. I'm the Chief Investment Officer of OV Capital. It's a UK-based private equity company.
My name is Charity Erense Agbekan. I am a lawyer by profession, and also I am the president of the National Association of Nigerian Students in South Africa, NANSA.
That's a wrong narrative, and a very misleading one for that matter. We have criminals in every countries that are represented in South Africa. Yes, there are few Nigerians that are engaging in such businesses, not just prostitution, drugs. Some of them engage in fraud, or this economic fraud. But what we know and we have seen so far is that Nigerians are not the only one engaging in that, and there are few of our people, of our compatriots, that are actually bent on doing that. And that's why we have always been saying that the police should do their job and get them arrested and be very hard on them. And so we should not be defined by the activities of few people who decided not to be good ambassadors. So our people are not drug dealers. They are not prostitute traffickers or human traffickers. Our people are not that. But there are few of our people, of our compatriots, that are engaging in such businesses. And in the community, we have actually built up a mechanism to isolate such people, because we are not going to allow them to define who we are.
Well, we are living in a constitutional democracy with different tenets of democracy, so to say, in South Africa, where people are allowed to express their feelings or to express what they would want to achieve in a society. And it's a free world, so to say, here. So on that note, I think they were expressing their democratic rights to express themselves. And it is a welcome development that there is that freedom of expression and freedom of speech in South Africa. Having said that, though, I think the demonstration was misplaced, so to say, because they were sending aggression, so to say, to the wrong direction, in the sense that, to the best of my knowledge, I don't think there's any quantitative or qualitative research anywhere in South Africa or elsewhere from any credible institution like Statistics South Africa or South African Police Services that shows that Nigerians are in the lead in terms of any criminal activity in South Africa. So setting aside Nigerians or Nigerian government or Nigerian High Commission to go for demonstration and putting across those quite unfortunate demands they were putting across, to me is a misplaced priority. I say that because there are agents and institutions in South Africa that already have those functions of going after criminal elements in South Africa, and they ought to go after everyone, be them Nigerians, be them South Africans, or from any other country. And I must just quickly add that those who demonstrated, who are calling Nigerians names, must understand that crime in South Africa or anywhere in the world has no gender, crime has got no nationality, crime has got no race, crime has got no complexion, crime has got no color. Crime is crime and must be condemned by all and sundry and should be treated like that, and there should be a collective and collaborative effort to stem the tides of crime anywhere, especially in South Africa where we reside.
Look, it's quite unfortunate, and I must state very clearly, South Africa, it's a country with rule of law. It's not a banana country, and I'm against anyone or any group or any organization profiling criminals to a nation or to a group or a tribe. That is unnecessary. It's insightful, and in some countries it should be punishable. I mean, if people are criminals, they are criminals because they are criminals. I mean, singling a nation or a group of people out and stereotyping them, in this day and age, should be condemned on the highest level. We have the security forces in this country. There's intelligence. South Africa is well equipped to deal with criminals, and they are dealing with criminals. And we are calling on the public and these organizations, if they know that these criminals and they are identifying them to be Nigerians, that means they have some kind of intelligence to know they are Nigerians. Of course, they should inform the security forces, the state, the government, the police, to deal with those criminals. But to go out in public and to incite the public is becoming political for a gain that will not be beneficial to anybody, both this country and the continent. If very recently there was a lot of work that has been done in the continent to bring Africa together, to sign the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. These kind of things tarnishes those work leaders, especially the president of this country and all other African countries have been doing. So I condemn it. I think it's totally wrong.
Okay, personally, that made me feel a bit bad, because when it comes to crime in general, we all know that crime has no nationality. Crime has no skin color. Anyone can be a perpetrator of crime, be it Nigerian or any other foreign national, or even a South African can be a perpetrator of crime. So I believe that everyone should be treated equally. Even in South Africa, we have the Section 9, which talks about equality before the law. So everyone needs to be treated equally. If we have to say someone is a perpetrator of crime, it shouldn't be specific to a particular nationality. It should be more of who is perpetrating this crime. We should actually remove nationality or race when it comes to criminal activities and focus on the crime instead of pinpointing a particular national as criminal perpetrators.
Yes, I will answer from the last question, from the last statement. Yes, there is a wave of another xenophobic attack based on the fact that there are some new political parties that are springing up in South Africa now, and they believe that the only way they could win the heart or the vote of the masses is to use the foreign nationals, and in this case Nigeria, as a way to get to the heart of the people. Those who march to the High Commission, I can say that they are not genuine crime fighters. Why I said that they are not genuine crime fighters is that when they sent in the information, we engaged them to say that we also want this crime to be, our community to be free of crime. But they insisted that they want to attack Nigerians alone. And we are not saying that the statistics, even the Human Rights Commission chairperson, said that the statistics is not favoring what you are saying. That's not. It means that everybody in prison or everybody that have been arrested for one drugs or the for one crime or the other are Nigerians, which is not so. And so we believe after our engagement with them that they are not genuine. And if you want to fight a crime, you cannot stereotype. You cannot start saying it's only Nigerians that are involved in crime. There are other nationals, even including the locals, the South Africans that are engaging in crime. There are genuine crime-fighting organizations and civil societies that we are working with at every point in time. When they want to march or they want to do anything, even the community policing forum, we join them to make sure that our community, because we have our family here. For example, I have all my children there and they are going to school. So I don't know what happens to them when they are not under my roof. So we all have to come together and fight that criminal activities and not stereotype to say that we have to go to. And going to Nigerian embassy, lastly, will not solve any problem, because the Nigerian ambassador or the Nigerian High Commission, they don't have the mandate to implement South African law. And it's only the security operating within South Africa, and they cannot even tell South Africa how to implement their law. So we believe that it has some political undertones and xenophobic overtones.
Then in terms of whether that may stem or catalyze another xenophobia, yes, there's a possibility. We are living in a society with a very feeble stability in terms of relationship between the nationals and the foreigners, so to say. So anything that shows that foreigners are committing crime or has any bad name in relation to foreigners will stimulate and catalyze, as I said, another xenophobic violence, so to say. If we think of the last time that xenophobia happened in South Africa against Nigerians and other nationals, there were some stories that a Nigerian drug lord, as it was, the news had it, in relation to another police officer, a South African, and another person had an altercation, and in the process, the Nigerian shot somebody and the person died. These were sadly not true, but unfortunately, after those kind of news were in the public, it instigated and stimulated people to start another wave of xenophobic violence, and it was mostly targeted and perpetrated against Nigerian nationals and their businesses and their interests, and it is quite unfortunate. So situations like this or similar tendencies unarguably have the potential to start another wave of possibly unleashing another xenophobic violence against Nigerians and other African nationals here.
Look, I understand South Africa has a lot of challenges. It has one of the highest level of inequalities, and this translates on the street when we see. But we must understand that education goes a long way. And I've been one of those voices that has been pushing for education. I think, as a community, both Nigerian community and all other African community, all forms of education and engaging and giving history will go a long way. I'm the person I am today, and my life has been shaped with the amount of education I get myself, and I continue to get myself. So education is a key. And the other area is awareness. Of course, what education does is to allow you to look for information, both in the media and to consume it in a way that is positive and can help the society. That's why I'm calling on education first. From both governments, from private sector, we must invest more in the education of this continent, in this country, and of our people. And this kind of rhetoric and this information, people will have a mind of their own to understand that they cannot be swayed and used as pawns in a larger political scheme. But on our part, I call on our own community, especially the Nigerian community, to be out there, especially the good ones, because there are a lot of them. I call on them to begin to show that they are integrated in this country. They contribute positively, creating jobs, adding to the GDP, adding value. And I know for a fact that there's a lot of of alms giving, charity giving by Nigerian communities in this country, but it's not well documented. The media is not showing it so much. So I feel more efforts should be done from the media side and from this organization to allow South Africans to know that there's always two sides to the story.
Okay, what we can do basically to avoid xenophobic attack, we need to first look at the cause of the xenophobic attack. What is xenophobia in general? Xenophobia is basically a Greek word from xeno, and phobia is fear. So xeno basically means stranger or foreigner, and xenophobia is the fear of foreigners or the fear of stranger. To avoid xenophobia, we need to know what is the cause of xenophobia. Why are South Africans afraid of foreign nationals? We need to first tackle that. And we need to know that we are all humans, we're all human beings. We all need to practice the spirit of Ubuntu. Ubuntu is humanness. I am because you are. And we need to work together in fighting xenophobia in our community, or fighting rather the people who perpetrate crime in our community, because this is what actually leads to xenophobia. They want to actually remove violence and crime against in the community or in the society, and we can actually all work together in removing the people who perpetrate crime in our community. So let us embrace the spirit of Ubuntu. Let the foreign nationals and the South Africans work together. I believe together we can actually sweep out crime out of our community, out of our society, out of our nation.
A couple of months ago, there was an impending xenophobic attack that had already started in Witbank. You know, one of our members, a member of the Nigerian Doctors Forum, alerted me. He called me and a few other members of Nigerian Doctors Forum leadership in South Africa. And we took it upon ourselves to gather all the relevant information. I personally called the Consul General of Nigeria, His Excellency Ambassador Godwin Adam, and alerted him immediately. He contacted the South African Police Services and all the other relevant authorities and agencies in South Africa, and he mobilized them to Witbank. He was there physically himself with other leaders of thought in South Africa and Nigeria, and that's how that particular incident was averted. So such early warning signals and targeted positive actions to quell such and to nip it in the bud is needed across board by every person, and if done properly, that could assist a lot. Having said that, we need to do things right though. Both the Nigerians and South Africans, we need to embrace each other, and even other nationals who are in South Africa, and ensure that we do the right things at the right time, and we all become friendly to ourselves and try to cooperate and do things together and cohabit, learn how to cohabit, you know, and those who are involved in crime, whether they are South Africans or Nigerians or from any other national, should endeavor to desist from doing that, so as to ensure that cohabitation in peace.
Nigerian community is getting large and is quite organized. I will not deny that the packets of a small percentage of Nigerians who are given a bad name. And I will not be here to deny that, but we need to understand. But what happens is that for those people who have been victims of any of these crimes, they do not look like, they will not be caring about the percentages that are good. So I'm calling on a lot of us who are of Nigerian descent, who are Nigerians here, to organize in such a way that we can present and inform the populace of what we are doing. We are already doing a lot. A lot of Nigerians are married to South Africans, raising up good children. A lot of Nigerians are doctors, teachers, business people doing legitimate business already. So that is a giving on living here already. They're doing a lot. But we can do more in terms of showing the media, showing more South Africans that what we are doing. And most especially, I think we need to have something like a Nigeria Day where we celebrate our culture. I know our food is getting very popular now. Music also is getting very popular. And we need to remove the notion where there's a competition between these two nations in a negative way. We need to understand that the continent needs these two nations. South Africa and Nigeria is one. And for Nigerians that are here, we need to understand that South Africans has let us come in. Even if this country is Africa and we want to claim it sometimes, we need to give it a level of respect to the citizens in this country, for us to be aware that yes, it's Africa, but it's not our country, and we need to behave in a comfortable way. What I mean is that because of our nature as Nigerians, most Nigerians are very proud. Sometimes they are quite loud in public, and they always stand for their right. In my understanding, a lot of South Africans see this as being arrogant, and this begins to flare up in certain quarters in the country. So I call on my people to show much more decency, to carry themselves with humility in public, especially in public places, and to behave very respectfully, to know that you're a visitor in that sense in this country. And it goes a long way. It has gone a long way for me, and I advise my country people to do the same.